what you witnessed just right there was your average duel in Gunblood. And if you happen to remember this game, good for you. And if you don't, well, let me tell you a little more about Gunblood, the best dueling simulator ever released on the web. Set against the backdrop of the Wild West, you can pick from the roster of 10 characters, a colorful mishmash of stereotypical characters associated with the Western theme. In this motley group, you can pick from the classic highwayman look to a dollar store version of the Hamburglar. Gunblood presents players with a simple premise. Take the role of a gunslinger and fight your way through the gauntlet of 9 increasingly challenging opponents. And if you survive, you will become the most feared gunslinger in all of the West. The game is very simple in terms of gameplay, as you only need your mouse to control your character. Upon the start of a new round, you must place your mouse cursor within the cylinder in order for the countdown to begin. With 3 seconds to go, it is important to not jump the gun, and once the last second passes, simply pull your mouse cursor up to where you intend to shoot and fire away. Anything can literally happen during the few seconds that pass during the shootout, from a single headshot all the way to both sides emptying their revolvers, resulting in a draw. Arguably the most defining feature of Gunblood is the surprisingly detailed gore system that's present during each duel. From crippling the other duelists to taking their head off completely, there's a variety of ways on how the duel can end. Perhaps most important of all, it means that no fight is always identical. In fact, not even the first opponent will be easy to defeat, as a moment of unlucky RNG could easily cost your run to end in less than a second. Adding in the element of variable stances based on what injuries your character sustains is a feature that promotes changing your shot placements, forcing you to be deliberate with where you choose to shoot, in addition to how fast you decide to fire, as spending all of your cartridges could leave you dangerously exposed to your opponent. The gameplay mechanics of Gunblood are deceptive because after you defeat the first opponent, you may think to yourself that, hey, all of the other opponents are just like this guy. But as you continue through the 8 following challengers, you may find that matching their speed and accuracy becomes increasingly difficult, and with each failure you have, you can better your own draw speed to not only acquire the target faster, but to also shoot accurately to take them down. And there's just something about the graphics of this game that make it very memorable, especially for those of us that have played this game over 10 years ago. When you see this game, it's still the same recognizable cowboy dueling game that you remember from 2010. And with 10 uniquely designed characters that you can pick from, it makes this game stand out in my memory, as it likely does for many other players. There's also a very particular feature in this game that helps break up the potential monotony of dueling rivals. Gunblood includes a handful of mini-games between rounds 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9. These mini-games essentially act as these little challenges, and these challenges range from picking bottles off from a daring stuntman to stopping mid-air knives from a lunatic assistant. Now, if you're aiming for a record-breaking high score, practice and accuracy are crucial to success. But if you're only interested in the dueling, you always have the nuclear option. Oh, and be careful during these challenges, because if you're a perfectionist and you seek to have your character unblemished throughout the game, you may find it surprising to find that this game carries the injuries that your character sustains throughout the entire game. So if you get messed up in the first round, or later on take a knife to the face during a challenge, you're stuck with that appearance for the remainder of the game, either until you become the best gunslinger around, or find the same fate as Texas Red. And if the challenge of the game increasing as you progress from the first opponent all the way up to the 9th and final opponent is simply too much, or you just don't want to deal with it at all, you always have the option of sidestepping the challenge entirely by punching in one or all of the 4 cheat codes that the game offers. No hit, as the name suggests, makes your character impervious to enemy fire, while more ammo gives your revolver infinite ammunition. Fast fire, on the other hand, modifies your revolver into a modern-day autoloader, with the last cheat code, Pointer, attaching a laser to the weapon, allowing you to precisely position the weapon for the best shot possible. Once you mindlessly tear through your hapless adversaries, however, the ending message states that because you utilize cheats, you are executed. Obviously, your score isn't recorded, but this is a very fun way to experiment with shot placement and simply fooling around with the game mechanics without having to worry about getting eliminated. Despite well over 10 years passing since when this game was first released, I'm confident in saying that this game has not aged at all, still remaining an entertaining experience that encapsulates the most basic and visceral details of a duel. Sure, some but without features such as that, or cheat codes, then the game wouldn't really have too much to keep people around or coming back. With each quick draw showdown providing a burst of excitement in a matter of seconds, Gunblood still is available for anyone to play, and an average run through the game is usually less than a minute. And if you haven't given this game a spin yet, well, why not? For all you know, you may just become the most feared gunslinger around town.